All right, guys, let's have a look at this set. Now, the table given below provides information about the number of Apple mobile users as a percentage of three different parameters. And let's have a look what these three parameters are. The first one is total mobile phone users in the city, then the population of the city, and then the total Apple mobile users for 8 cities, namely D, M, R, J, C, B, S, and B. Now, in this data, what we can get to know about Apple mobile users as a percentage of total mobile phone users of the city. So let's take example D, the example of city D. So there's one city, the name is D. Now the Apple mobile users as a percentage of total mobile phone users of this city is 13%. So let's say there are 100 mobile users in this city. So the number of Apple mobile users will be 13. Now, Apple mobile users as a percentage of the population of the city, should be population, it is 3%. That means if the population of the city D is 100, 3 people will be using Apple mobile. And now Apple mobile users as a percentage of total Apple mobile users in these 8 cities. So let's say there are 100 Apple mobile users in these 8 cities. So there will be 20 from city D. Now, the only catch of this particular question is we need to understand that this particular line, Apple mobile phone users as a percentage of, has to be put in front of every row here. So basically we are talking about the same thing in three different ways. All right, so let's proceed on to the question, further information. Now, Apple mobile is a model of mobile phone, of course. So the density of mobile users is defined as the number of mobile phone users in a city to the total population of that particular city. Okay, so the density of mobile users, of course, is the number of people who are using mobile phones in a city divided by the total population. Now, let's have a look at the first question here. Which of the following cities has the second highest density of mobile users? Now, we know the density of mobile users is number of mobile users divided by the population. So now let's take let's have a nomenclature. Let's say the total number of mobile phone users in a city is M. Let the population of any city is P. And let's say the number of Apple mobile users is A. Okay. Now, for example, let's take the example of city D. We need to find out the second highest density of mobile users. So for that, we need to understand how to calculate the density, because we don't know the population, we don't know the number of mobile phone users, but we know Apple mobile users as a percentage of mobile phone users and as a percentage of population. So for D, city D, I will write it. So A will be equal to 13% of, let's put it multiplication sign of N, of total mobile users, right? And again, A will be equal to 3% of P, that is the population. Now, since we know in both the cases we are talking about A, so we can equate these two. So we can say 13 by 100 of M is equal to 3 by 100 of P. So M by P will become 3 by 13. And basically M by P is what? Mobile users divided by population, which is actually the density of mobile phone users, right? Now we have to find out the second highest density, right? So in order to find the second highest density, we can understand that the ratio is coming out to be 3 by 13, right? So we can see for D it is 3 by 13. So of course for M it will be 4 by 12.5. For R it will be 5 upon 17.3. And then for J it will be 3.5 upon 8 and so on, right? Now, there are two ways to go about it. Either we calculate all the values and then find out. But an easier way will be if we do just one thing, if we convert this by this in form of 1 by something. Let's say 1 by X. So higher the value of X, lower will be the number, and lower the value of X, higher will be the number. We have to find out the second highest density. So we need to find out the second lowest value of X in 1 by X form. Now for D, so I'm writing it here. For D it will be 1 upon 3 by 13 means 1 upon 4 point something. Then for M it will be 1 upon 3 point something. Then for R it will be again 1 upon 3 point something. 5 upon 15 would have been 1 by 3. So 5 upon 17.3 will be 5 upon 1 upon 3 point something. I'm writing it this way. Now for city J, we can write it as 7 upon 16. So 1 upon 2 point something. For city C, we can write it as 11 upon 18. So 11 upon 18 will be 1 upon 1 point something. We need not to calculate initially. We'll see when we have to do it. Right? So I'll write it here. 11 upon 18 for city C. Since it is one of the lowest value, I'm just considering this one, right? Again, 2.5 by 18 again it will be very high, very high. So we need not to calculate it. Now 7 by 12 again, 1 upon 1 point something. 7 by 12, we need to find out this value, and 10 by 15, of course, will be 1 upon 1.5. So we have three cities to be considered, C, S, and V. For V, it is 1 upon 1.5. For C, it is 11 by 18. So 11 by 18 will be 1 upon, it will go 1 time and 7 remains. So it will go 6 times, then 4 and 0, 3 times, 1 upon 1.63. And for city S, it will be 7 by 12, that is 1 upon 1.7 something. So the second highest value here is coming out to be 1.63, second lowest. Lowest is, of course, 1.5. So the answer to this question will be city C. All right. So moving on to the next one. Before that, I will delete the what I've written here. Clear some space for us. So let's have a look at the additional information given here. So what additional information says? It says M has 9600 more Apple mobile users than S. And there is a total of 75,000 Apple mobile phones in these 8 cities. So of course, a user may carry more than one phone. Okay. So let's see. M has 25% of the phones across these 8 cities, and S has 9% of the phones across these 8 cities. Phone users, in fact. Sorry. So the difference is of 16%. So 16% of total users, let's say total users be X, is equal to 9600. If we just calculate it, it will be 9600 into 100 upon 16, and this will go 6 times. So total number of Apple mobile users across these 8 cities will be 60,000. Now we know the number of users is 60,000, number of phones is 75,000. So of course, one user may carry more than one phone. So that is not a problem now. Okay. So now the question is, if a metro city is defined as a city having population greater than 1 lakh, then how many of the mentioned 8 cities cannot be a metro city? Okay, so we need to calculate the population now. Now, since we know the total value of the Apple mobile phone users in these 8 cities, we can calculate it very easily. For example, in case of D, we know the total number of users in D is 20% of 60,000. That will be 12,000, right? And it is equal to 3% of the population. So we can find out the population and it will come out to be 4 lakhs. Okay, so we can do it for every city. But if we have to generalize it and make it easy for us, so what we can do, let's find out a general formula for it. So we can see, let's take this example only. So we can see that X percent, whatever the percentage of 60,000 is, okay, let's take it, let's form an equation like this. So for D, it can be written as 3% of P population is equal to 20% of 60,000, right? Now, this will go. So population will become basically 20 by 3 of 60,000. Now, we know that in any case, we have to find out whether the population is greater than 1 lakh or not. So by what number do we have to multiply 60,000 so that it becomes 1 lakh? So it's very easy. If we multiply 60,000 by 5 by 3. It will become exactly 1 lakh. So what we have to find out now? So this ratio, in this case 20 by 3, in this case 25 by 4, if it is greater than 5 by 3 or 1.66, then the population will be more than 1 lakh, or else it will be lesser than or equal to 1 lakh. If it is exactly equal to this, the population will be 1 lakh. Otherwise, if it is the ratio is greater than 1.66, the population will be greater than 1 lakh. So let's see for how many cities this is the case. The 20 by 3 is of course greater than 1.66. Again, 25 by 4 is also greater than it. 8 by 5, we need to find out. 8 by 5 will be exactly 1.6. It is lesser than 1.66. So city D is more than 1 lakh, M is more than 1 lakh, R is not. Now 10 upon 3.5, of course, greater than. 5 upon 5.5 cannot be. This is of course greater than. 9 upon 7. This is again 1.1 upon 9 upon 7. So this will be 7 1s are 7, 2 and 0. So 1.2 something. So this of course cannot be greater than 1 lakh. And 8 by 10 also cannot be greater than 1 lakh. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4 cities which are having a population greater than 1 lakh. So the answer to this question will be